Hey, it's Brett and Coach here, and I am back at Begyle, but tonight is Imperial Pajamas Night, which they release a different version of their Imperial Pajamas Stout every hour on the hour. We arrived a little bit late, but they had everything in stock except for the first two, so let's start tasting for 6 different variants of the beer. And today's video might be a little bit of a quicker video because you've seen a couple of my Begyle videos already. Please subscribe so you can go look at those and so you don't miss any of them in the future because Mayfestiversary at Begyle is coming up soon. Let's get this stout tasting a-going. We're going to start off with the cherry chocolate version. It smells like stout. Again, this is the first one that I've smelled, so it might be a lot fruitier compared to the others. It does have some more fruity undertones to it. The chocolate comes through a lot more than the cherry. To start off, I'd probably give this a 6.5. Next up is the matcha orange, which is the flavor that I'm looking forward to just because we were here on Valentine's Day, or well, the day before, doing beer tastings with chocolate, and the matcha orange is the one that I'm actually the most excited for because when we were here for their Valentine's Day event tasting chocolates with their beer pairings, they had a matcha apricot chocolate with the beer, and that was really good, and I love matcha, so. It has a very subtle earthiness to it. On the back end, it has a little bit more of a velvety, earthy creaminess. I'd probably give this one a 7. They are fairly pretty cold, so they may warm up as it goes on. But as we're sitting outside during February in Chicago, it might take a while for them to get a little warmer. Next up is the Old Fashioned. Being from Wisconsin, I have high hopes for an Old Fashioned. Definitely has a little bit of like the brown alcohol smell to it. This is the sweetest one so far, and I think I might like it the most so far. I would give this one a 7.5. This one also says matcha underneath it, so we will see. I don't know if that is any different than this one that also says matcha underneath it. We may have had a slight mispour, so we might have to figure out what's going on there. But next up is the bundle. Ooh, this one has the biggest scent to it. It's very like cinnamon, almost chai flavored. Ooh, this is the one to beat. Really good cinnamon chai flavor. If coffee, beer, and cinnamon toast crunch had a baby, I would give that a 9. That's extremely good. And lastly for us is the Mexican hot chocolate for now. That has a really good spice to it, as in heat peppery, versus the cinnamon one was a lot more cinnamon spicy, sweeter. I'd probably give this an 8. I would also really drink this as well. Overall, I think they killed it. There's a few of them that taste pretty similar and the flavor doesn't come through, but those are more of the subtler flavors versus the Mexican hot chocolate and the cinnamon-based one. But otherwise, I enjoyed them all and I would happily drink them all. But let's throw it over to Brian and see what he thinks. And I think the one that we missed was Almond Joy, so we're gonna go back for that in a little bit to make sure we get it, and we'll let you know what we think. There is a slight chance that they just wrote it wrong versus giving us the wrong pour, but we wanna do our due diligence and make sure we get everything covered.
My turn. Let's see if what I like lines up with what Brett likes. Mexican hot chocolate first. You're right, it is chocolatey with a little bit of heat to it. That's nice. I'll start off with a 6.5 on that one. Next up is the bundled, which Brett really enjoyed, so let's see if it's as good as he says. Ooh, the good scent. You're right on that one. Let's have a taste. Interesting. That's a little bit of spice and a little bit of sweet as well. I do like that one. I'm going to give them a 7. That's a bit better. This one I think is matcha, but again, we may have a mix-up, so we'll see. Can't smell too much. Yeah, that's definitely like a green, earthy type of flavor to it. Not a fan of the flavor. I'd say a 6. Next up is the cherry. Not too much cherry on the nose. Ooh, I like that there is cherry flavor from the start all the way through as it goes through the tongue. I like that one a little bit better. I'm going to give that one a 7. And this is the other question mark matcha. Let's see if it's the same as the one before. Yeah, that's the same one. That wasn't Almond Joy that we're missing, so that's a double matcha. And the last one of this 6 is the Old Fashioned. Let's have a smell. Can't smell too much on the nose. Let's have a taste. Ooh. That one's definitely got the most bite to it in a good way. That one I don't like quite as much as the others. I'd say a 6.5. I think my pick of this 6, well 5 is probably the cherry.
And I did get cold, and we did manage to snag our own individual table inside to continue the fun. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Brett, where I make mainly travel content, but when I'm not exploring the world, I am in Chicago showing it off and finding all the hidden gems with my partner in crime, Brian. So please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and give me a like so we can keep this adventure going. Each pour for this event for a taster size is $7, but we are a part of the CSB, the Community Supported Brewing Discount Membership Group. We did get 20% off of everything. So if you are ever in the area, or if you really like Begyle, consider getting a membership because you get a growler each month or a crowler. There are a couple different options, as well as a discount on all merchandise, all to-goes, and like I said, everything in-house for pours too. This one is the Almond Joy, and then these two are the Smores, which were the release at 7 o'clock. So to start off with the Almond Joy, the one that we missed because we accidentally got 2 matchas, which ultimately we're not too mad at. Not too strong of a scent on it. It may be slightly chocolatey or has a very subtle nutty undertone. I enjoy it, but if this is a blind taste test, I'm not fully sure I'd be able to pick out the flavor per se. And then next, which is what Brian was looking forward to the most, the Smores. Has a nice little marshmallowy scent to it. Not the strongest s'mores flavor, but it does build, and I think I would be able to pick this flavor out of a lineup if I had it during a blind taste test. Subtly sweet like marshmallow, a little chocolatey, a little bit of that graham cracker. I'd probably give this a 7.5. I'd probably give the Almond Joy a 6.5.
The Almond Joy. As Brett said, that's a little hard to pull the flavor out of that. I'm not picking up the Almond Joy. Anyway, let's move on to the S'mores. Very little on the nose. The flavor's there, but it's subtle. It's a little hard to pick up the marshmallow, so that one's a little bit of a letdown. I wish there was more graham cracker or more marshmallow flavor to that.
We did try the Almond Joy as well as the S'mores once they warmed up a little bit. Their flavor did get a little bit stronger, but it wasn't super intensely stronger, so they would maybe bump up their ratings by a half point, but not much more than that. Either way, everything that we've had tonight has been really good, so if you are able to try any of the variants, even though I know this video will be posted a few weeks to a month later after filming this, but if you can come to Begyle and try any of the Imperial Pajamas, the original or any of the variations, highly recommend to do so. Here, Brian comes with the final special release of the night. This is the Choco Taco. And an actual Klondike Choco Taco was discontinued a couple years ago, so pour one out for them. This beer can live on in its honor, so let's give it a taste. A nice sweet chocolatey smell to it. Smooth, sweet, chocolatey. I do understand where the flavor profile is coming from. A nice vanilla to it as well. I'd probably give this an 8.5 to round out the night.
Choco Taco. I can smell some sweetness on this one. Let's dive in. There we go. I get the ice cream out of it. Yeah, chocolate ice cream is what I taste. This is quite good. I don't know if it's my favorite of the night, but it's definitely one of my maybe top 3. I'd say 7 out of 10. Of all of them that we've had tonight, the Bundled Up is what would be my favorite.
And I do have to agree with Brian here that the version of Bundled Up was my favorite as well, so that definitely takes the cake for all the Imperial Pajamas Stouts and all of the different variations for tonight. And we'll be here at Begyle for a little bit longer, just winding down the night. This is where I'm going to end the video here unless something drastically interesting happens. Hey, it's Brett and Coach from the future, which actually I was able to get the 2 types of Imperial Pajamas that we couldn't get. So to start off, this is the coffee version of it, which it's brewed with Backlot coffee, so shout out to them. Good coffee smell to it. I'm not mad at that. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it is a really good coffee flavor, comes through in a bold way. I really enjoy it, but let's move on to the vanilla, which was the first one that they released that day at 11 a.m. And it was a little obvious why we missed it. I was at work, 11 a.m. to have a stout, a little bit early in my eyes. Definitely a lot sweeter scent to it, a good vanilla, almost like cake to it. Ooh, a really nice, pleasant sweetness without being overpowering. I would probably give this an 8, and then the coffee a 7. So this was also a little unexpected. They actually have an Imperial Pajamas aged in Koval barrels, which is a distillery also on Malt Row, so in the area, that I believe is all woman-owned, and it's really cool space, so we'll definitely have to get there sooner or later to check it out. Not the strongest scent on it, but still smells fairly delicious. For a stout, it actually drinks really cleanly. I think it's the smoothest stout of them all. It really cancels out the alcohol flavor, even though I would imagine that this is one of the higher ABVs. I would probably give this a 7.5. So we double checked to make sure what it was actually barrel aged in. It was actually barrel aged in oat whiskey barrels from Koval. I'm not entirely sure what an oat whiskey is, but maybe next time that I'm in Koval's tap room, I'll check it out. Begyle always does great with these releases. Really, any Imperial Pajamas, you can't go wrong if it's day of or a later keg, but that is all for future Brett and Coach. I will throw it back to the present. This has been Brett and Coach here at Begyle for their Imperial Pajamas release. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep all of these videos going, as well as leave me a comment and give me a like, and I will see you next time in Coach.